Hey guys, it's Justin again with another work in progress video. This is going to be work in progress number 2 for the 1 to 72nd scale G system GM Novell. This is a very, very, very large kit. In fact, here's a high grade graze to compare to. It doesn't even fully clear the knee. So these kits are gigantic. But they require a little bit more work than your standard plastic kit, between fitting and pinning and scribing and making sure there's no bubbles and puttying and sanding and all that. But the journey has been quite enjoyable. Believe it or not, I've actually really enjoyed this kit, despite all the work I've had to put into just the legs. There have been some minor things that I don't really care for, but it's essentially going to be a fixed pose kit when it's done anyway, so no skin off my nose. I really don't care that much. Once I get the standing pose where I want it, this guy is going to be a monster. As you can see, before we move too far into this, I took the first leg, I primed it up very crappily. It's really cold out here, so paint's not really adhering properly. But you can get a general idea as to what the surface of this looks like. It's very smooth. I've gone ahead, I've rescribed all the lines up here, if I can get to focus on them. Probably not. Anyway, I've rescribed all the lines on the front. I've rescribed all the lines on the thigh. I have to go back in there and rescribe that little notch, which means I'll probably have to end up puttying because I know I'm going to slip and go through all that work. But we'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I've rescribed all the lines on the feet. There's like a couple panel lines on each foot, or on each side of the foot. And I've rescribed this guy right here. I puttied up some smaller details. There's like little squares scribed into each side of this. There's little circles down here. I just didn't care for them. They didn't really bring anything to the table for me. So, and then I've also done the same for, I believe, everything on this side as well. I still have to do this side, but this one's done. It's a little bit sloppy, but nothing some putty can't fix. I gotta putty this again, and I have to rescribe the feet. But everything else is done on this one as well, which means these are ready for hopefully the last layer of primer and air checking. I think I got everything. There's a couple small things I have to rescribe. The line down here. I have to rescribe these lines back here, which that one's super easy. And I'm going to putty these little square details out of the back of the knee. I don't really care for that too much. And I think I'm going to get like a piece of square plow plate and just glue that in there so that the back of the leg is covered. I don't like that gap. Not that like you won't see it when it's done because I'm never going to display it from the back, but you know, when I take pictures and stuff, it will be seen, so I'd rather cover it up for the most part anyway. Now I did talk about these kits being posable. They're not really that posable, but I managed to actually finagle one of the joints so that it sort of works. I think it might be this one. There we go. So it sounds terrible. It sounds like it's breaking. But there's the armor split. It's just you have to like really force it to move. There you go. So you can. There you go. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop all the armor off, and I'm pretty much going to lock this in place and just paint it like this. I've got some putty work to do here. There was a huge gap, a huge hole. That's getting sand it out. I just haven't done it yet. And then once I fix all of that, this guy's ready for paint, pretty much. I have to error check these, but I'm pretty sure they're okay, because there was almost no work to be done on them. There's no real, what is it called, resin slips or anything like that. It's just, you know, big old giant pieces. The knees took me a little while to figure out what I was going to do with, because originally the only connection point is right here. So what I did was I drilled a pinhole through here, and there's one on the opposite side on the other piece, because this gets covered up. See, this is the wrong one. This gets covered up almost entirely by that joint. So I'm just going to putty this up and sand it smooth so it's flush. And then there's a metal piece that goes in this side, and I'm pretty sure it might go through. And if it does, that'll hold the other side in place, which, I mean, it's not really a big deal. It's got the peg on the inside and then the pin on this side, so it's not really going anywhere. So that's more than enough support already. But you can see on the other one, I actually did the same thing, and then there's another pinhole here, and I put a pin on the inside of this, and basically what you do is you push this through like this, and you plug it in that pinhole, and it stays locked in place. I mean, it's not like super secure because you can wiggle it on this side, but once it's glued, and I actually have to bend this piece a tiny bit, it will stay without worry of it falling out. Because if you put this one in, you know, it doesn't stay in at all. I mean, like, even when it's like this, it's barely holding on. So we're gonna fix that on the other one as well, which should be super easy. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be once I started kind of brainstorming it. But yeah, these guys are gonna be painted as one piece, not a big deal, and it looks fine. So pretty much all that's left is just a couple of minor lines that need to be scribed, and we can go ahead and put these aside and start working on the next bit. So the next whip, we will focus on the waist and the chest unit, and if I make some significant progress on these, I will hopefully be able to show you it standing, or I might get impatient and just show you what it looks like standing, as soon as possible. Because the hard work on these guys are done, so maybe a nice change of pace will be good. I don't know, we'll see. But that's it for this whip. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Later.